watching every single Warhammer 40k Faction Explained 1. I know there's a re-explain series, but I figured that if it's re-explaining something, it's kind of implying that you need to have prior knowledge of this. So I don't want to like watch that one and suddenly there'll be references that I don't get. Alaka retconned. I mean, we're going to watch this and then the other one later. Possibly next month or something. Starting with the basics, yeah. This one is a lot more memey and fun. The second one is more serious and less fun. More serious doesn't mean less fun necessarily. This one is more easily to digest and the other one is more in-depth. This video is a really good introduction to 40k lore, and then re-explained is like an update on what's changed. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is Bricky. I actually haven't watched a Bricky video before, but I've heard that he is the go-to for Warhammer explanations. So let's just start.
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve the Omnissiah, but someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I'll be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about.
Oh my god!
Context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am currently.
We were getting different legs. Oh my god, this is like VTubers with outfit changes, but he's doing it with legs only. That's kind of hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That's the towel. Is this the towel legs? Okay, I was expecting to see anime girl school skirt. That's the perfect legs to explain the towel.
So, hello everybody, my name is Bricky, and this is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time.
Still waiting for his VTuber debut, I see.
I need 2 hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40k race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop, mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe.
Okay, this is going to be a challenge for me, Kamos, but for reasons that are completely unexpected, is that I'm going to have way too much fun with his bits. I'm going to have to probably pause a little bit just to collect myself so I can actually listen to what he's saying. He just moved around like 20 times in the last 60 seconds. It's amazing. I love it. Did you know that I love the dad level, like dad joke level humor combos? This also amuses me. I am very easily entertained, but then also, I guess, as a side bit of that, easily distracted by humor. This is why comedy shows is one of my favorite genres of TV. This is why it's a prime intro to Warhammer 40k. It's just fun.
People hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor,
dudes in big armor.
Chainsaw
Go
swords,
chonk when they walk around.
Green orcs, and there's some bugs over there, and everyone calls these guys weebs. And then there's these spiky bitches over here, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious about each of the different races and factions.
I think I'm a little bit younger.
In Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast.
Okay,
when it comes to lore.
Okay, this is the one thing that I've heard. Like this book series, there's a lot of media
they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass
metal bits,
electronics on them. You've got aliens, and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail that I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about.
I really appreciate that. So I don't have to read all the books and stuff.
To give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So, I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40k universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some smaller factions here and there. I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it, because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well.
Also, I do like how he said there wouldn't be legs, but what do I spy here? The tops of legs. missing a tiny bit of leg, and he can't deny that unless he's saying that this is part of his torso, which I highly doubt. I just wanted to point out that, you know, as a detective, I gotta have my my deductive abilities, my eyesight. Also, you're late? No, you're not late. I'm just starting. This is we're getting into technicalities here. Isn't that what you do when you're watching lore videos? You gotta go technical. He has a really long torso. And does he wear 2 different shirts for his torso? I think those are pants and those are legs. Okay, let's watch Reveal for real.
And we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well, in case you were curious about that.
Wait, actually, wait. Okay, this is actually a thing that I want to say. My first exposure to Warhammer actually hasn't been the game, or like hasn't been anything since I started VTubing. It was actually the tabletop. But not in the sense that I've seen the tabletop played, but in the sense that when I was in university, there was like the Geeky Thing store that I would go to had like a massive Warhammer 40k faction, like section of stuff. And I think that's the very first time I saw Warhammer 40k. I was like, whoa, what are all these cool looking figures? And then there was a friend in my study group in university, and she actually played Warhammer, and there was like a tiny like Warhammer store that she brought me and the rest of the study group to once, and there I saw like they had a display of painted minis, and I really like the huge minis, like the huge painted like the creatures and stuff. Those are gorgeous. So that's the first time I saw Warhammer 40k, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Because the painted minis are really cool. Yeah, I know Warhammer is an expensive hobby when you get into the tabletop, I've heard. So that was like my first true exposure. The scene in front of me is a massively expensive bunch of plastic. Oh, I imagine like this is like how many figures? A ton of figures, and these like huge tank looking thingies in the back here. Yeah.
In case you were curious about that. But for this eepisode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man.
Okay, Imperium.
Because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
I mean, it's the humans.
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000.
Okay, yeah, 40,000.
That's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD.
Hence 40k.
You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
100 centuries.
He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten.
No technology and science, but all the technology.
Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the
no progress.
dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods.
Interesting.
Everything blows. And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably the most dark and depressing universes.
Oh, so dark you had to go gray tone.
Or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy.
Oh my god.
Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day to a rotting carcass of a man who you believe to be your god.
That is a dark way to have interstellar travel.
Just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war,
because everyone dies all the time is what I'm catching.
Amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim.
Okay.
Everything sucks. But that's like the charm of it. See, everything in Warhammer is evil. But being evil is kind of fun. Like humanity in its own right is a xenophobic, prejudiced, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer. Nobody is good. No matter who you are,
everyone is on the evil scale.
Some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it.
It's like it's not like
badass.
It's not like are we the bad guy?
They look cool. They got cool outfits.
Okay, it's not like are we the bad guy? It's like okay, we are all the bad guy, but how bad are we? In no good way. Honestly, you gotta ask yourself, if you're all bad guys, then does the bad guy, good guy scale even matter? Because it's all relative to the morality, and if there's no good guys, and are there really bad guys? How bad? Yes. You should be the baddest. I don't know if I would want to be the evilest of bad guys, but we'll see which faction lore I like the best. Yeah. Everything is evil in Warhammer except orcs. They just wanna have a good time. I guess so.
They got cool weapons. They got cool armies.
Cool fashion.
Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming. True. Everyone can be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So let's start off talking about the main bad guy.
Main bad.
Quote unquote. The Imperium of Man.
Oh, are they the main bad guy?
Whack! It's gear!
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium.
I mean, humanity is united. That's nice.
Ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind.
Okay,
a
emperor.
10-foot-tall psychic demigod who led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of worlds, create superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new
Why are you guys saying
age.
united?
This man, the emperor of mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40k, there is the warp, the immaterium, kind of like hell, but sort of like a purgatory dimension of hell.
Purgatory hell dimension?
Is someone who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff.
Oh,
like
hell power,
stuff,
interesting.
Magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things.
The humans don't have a choice to be united?
The Emperor, big boy psyker. Top tier, A+, maybe
top tier hell power guy.
The Emperor created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created 20.
What?
18 Primarchs,
okay.
to have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and plans to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the
sons
Emperor.
of the Emperor. I see.
A lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions.
You don't talk about two of them? They don't exist? Oh, I see.
Called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 other, well, I guess 9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now,
because some of them defected.
What I mentioned earlier, the warp, that immaterium, the hellish place, in there relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine
those I've heard
Satan
about.
And 3 other Satans. The warp being kind of evil.
Isn't this? Okay, I swear. Okay, so when I was playing, I said I first encountered Warhammer properly when playing Power War Simulator. And people, Slaanesh, people kept on saying in the comments then was like, no one tell her about Slaanesh. No one tell her about Slaanesh. So I'm like, I feel like I'm concerned about Slaanesh. Like, the concern just kind of grows over time as more of you guys are saying, like, don't read about that. I find out, so, and then there's like that one, I think one of them is like this all like chaotic and random, but that's all I've kind of caught by now. We're all concerned about Slaanesh. I see. So I'll learn, maybe.
Those Chaos Gods, that's the reason. And so those Chaos Gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this
9
giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth. And they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war,
Okay.
Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the emperor. And right at the end of his life, they put the emperor
Oh, that's
on
why
this
he's rotting
large
on the
golden
throne.
throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly
Barely
rotting
alive.
away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive and is fed 1,000 people
1,000 people a day.
The Astronomicon is like the North Star.
Interesting.
If you want to do interstellar travel
really
in 40K,
live?
you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you.
Oh, so
to
he's
know
their
where you're
navigator
going. If
console.
you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel
psychic
in
lighthouse,
Minecraft,
yeah.
so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive,
big lighthouse.
you can do that. The moment he dies,
I guess humanity is just done for
all
then.
Humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years ago, the Imperium has fallen from
sorry,
grace
yeah, thank you.
substantially. All
Blood
technology
for the
has
blood
started to
god.
dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living
extremist.
god,
I see.
which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor
So he's become
of mankind, and all of the
call
Imperium
it?
has taken up worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't
To become a
humanity
symbol, kind
in
of.
his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them.
Yeah.
If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy.
symbol
and
now?
you
Yes, a
deserve to
symbol.
die. That is called being a heretic.
The Emperor was a man of
Heretics
science.
die
The cult
in
around this
40K.
person
There is
probably
no
would have
such
bore
thing
him.
as freedom of religion. There's no such thing
Okay,
as
so this is
freedom
what
of
you're
speech,
saying. They're
so
not
long as you are
united
against the
on
Emperor. There is no
by
such
free
thing
choice.
as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some
Yeah.
more than others, but
Especially
no matter
this
what,
guy. I don't want to
preaching
hurt that
good
guy.
word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods,
Okay.
you are also a heretic. And
Okay,
you
and you
deserve
deserve death. Okay,
if
much
you
death.
are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve
Oh, yeah, that's
death
I've heard.
as well.
Filthy Xenos,
so
I've
long
heard.
as the murder continues and humanity expands, the Imperium of Man is very, very happy.
Very
However,
happy.
the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss,
Okay.
the Astra Militarum, or also known as
Militarum.
the Imperial Guard.
Ooh,
Shit now, man.
Imperial Guard.
That's it, man. Game
If
over,
you even
man.
know the
Imperial
Chaos Gods who
Guard
die,
is the main
whoa.
fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men
Oh,
and
they're just
women
the normal
wearing
people.
modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the
Wow.
humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers.
so they're
and
just
extremely
literally just
fast
normal
fire rate.
guys.
It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant
Whoa.
holes in concrete. It is
Your
overall
average Joes?
an
Yeah.
extremely devastating weapon in modern day.
In modern day.
It is one of the weakest in the
Oh,
40K universe.
jokingly referred to as a
laser rifle that never
flashlight?
jams, it could blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons.
Oh my god,
That's the world we're in
poor
right now.
guys.
But who cares?
They're
Because
just
the
the
Imperial
little
Guard
guys,
has, in
yeah.
each battle, 500,000 of these men and women. 30,000 large
Whoa.
armored tanks, 10,000 artillery
Whoa.
batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this
So they're basically like little like ants kind of is what I'm getting. Like they're like the you just throw them out like ants and try and win by numbers. They try to survive. I feel bad for them. I feel bad. They're just little guys. They have. I can't believe they call the laser rifles flashlights. That's so bleak. Zergs, yeah. And then tide of men and women. I don't know. I don't know. They don't even have like a proper armor. That's heresy. They're happy to die for the emperor. I can feel bad for them though. And the Parian lies to them during the training. No. Everything that could have died to Laskans has already died. Now there's what's left. Oh. They're above the regular soldiers you find on most planets. Okay, so better than other little guys in the universe, maybe, but they're just the little guys. But I guess they're kind of cool because they don't give up.
World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial
Guard it's kind of like Helldivers.
Starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet. And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands
enough plot
of
armor, they can beat anything.
A sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun and tanks block out the dirt with the steps and hoof prints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles. The Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of
so they are
regiments.
a bulk of the fighting force.
The jungle fighters.
Jungle fighters.
World
He's not even
more
wearing
hospitable
armor at
than
all.
almost any firefight they'll ever get into. So they just have this steroid-looking, giant knife, Rambo Predator-looking sons of bitches.
Yeah, like not even wearing armor.
Anywhere near as scary as a simple knight on their home planet. You have the Valhallan Winter Soldiers who haven't built their toes in 300 years. The Mordian Iron Guard who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians from...
Oh, wait, Cadians! Wait. I was about to say, I remember we talked about the Cadians when I was playing Space Marine 2, and you guys were going like, the Cadians. That doesn't look like it's going well for the Cadian planet. Yeah, 07s. But yeah. So I guess Cadians are part of the little guy. Blew up, yeah.
The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble
average lifespan is 15 hours. That's really short.
You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15, and you'll fight your first swarm lord at 16. And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group
daily
of the
crying
Imperial
session.
Guard. 50
Which I guess is mandatory.
Specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40k. They're the army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the war sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god.
It suddenly got like a lot more dark. That they're his favorite factions is like, oh god, it's so fun pitting them up against like all these horror war machine orcs. Mechas, I don't know. I don't feel like that ends well for the regular person, you know? The orcs are kind of like big, and from what I've gathered, they run on like the sheer willpower and imagination. Are you sure he wins? Are you sure does Bricky win the Warhammer 40k battles with little guys? I sure hope so, for the little guys' sake. Your orcs used to be way bigger. They used to be even bigger. Oh my god. Think of the underdog stories. True. If they do win, you do get some good underdog stories. On the games, you can kill one of your own troops to boost morale. How does that boost morale? Oh my god. Is it like morale boosting if you go like, well, this will be you if you don't fight hard enough? Is that the type of morale boosting we're talking about here? That sounds more like fair than morale. Because you're punishing a coward. I see. Yeah, just the fair tactics. I wouldn't call that morale boosting. That's like, well, if we can't have morale, we could sure have fair. That's the kind of morale is, yeah, wow.
It's just poetic.
Fair is a type of morale. It's a type of motivation.
Pretty well. Large amounts of artillery that doesn't require a line of sight. Lots of tanks. Tons of infantry.
I do like the classic tank models.
Gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound. Though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot.
Expensive?
They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care.
They have bad
because
aim?
you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines.
Space Marines. Ooh,
the
the big
Angels of
guys.
Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs.
Mecha armor humans.
Their tissue is toughened. Their bones are stronger. They're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people.
And they make chunk sounds when they run around. I like that.
Super soldiers.
Very
that carry
satisfying
out a lot of the
chunk
more
sounds.
Specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch,
extra organs? I wonder what extra organs they need. Extra lungs for breeding, maybe?
Their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based on the genes of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this, like...
Wait, they get like the Primarchs, that was the... they have 19 extra organs. That's a lot. A second heart? Ooh, okay. 3 lungs? Okay. So extra... Did you get extra lungs? But the Primarchs, that was the sons or like creations of the empires, and they get genes from them. Which I'm assuming has like beneficial properties, you would hope. Also a poison organ? What would you do with a poison organ? Or actually, maybe not. Maybe don't answer that. That could be cursed. Acid spitting gland, black carapace. Ugh. It sounds kind of like they're becoming bug humans when you say it like that. It's mostly positive? Okay, mostly positive, but not entirely.
Superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines. Jagatai Khan has the White Stars.
Ultramarines.
Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists. Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard.
Oh,
There's
the Raven Guard looks cool.
Side sections that are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a
Primarchs
twist
are
on
literally their
Space
parents in the
Marines,
sense?
which we'll discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines.
Wait. Does that mean that technically 9 of these factions went rogue? Or did only the Primarchs that are the origin of the factions go rogue? Is my question. Yes, okay, so 9 of them has gone rogue. Is one of the factions the Sun dudes you were fighting in yeah, they're Legion 2. Oh, okay, so are one of them the Sun dudes you're fighting in Space Marine 2? 1,000 Suns, yes. Oh, okay, 1,000. Wait, do I see them here? 1,000 White Scars, Imperial Fists. Maybe he's covering them with his body. Primarch Magnus. Oh, wait, there, here. Bottom left, right? Bottom left, yeah. Primarch Magnus, 1,000 Suns. Oh, but they were blue, I think. Maybe they have different colors because these guys are red. I remember they were blue and like gold, blue and gold theme in Space Marine 2. Space Marine, strength and power fluctuates to how strong they have to be to have a conflict story. Interesting. They were red before they fell to chaos. Oh. It's before, I think he'll explain later. Oh, okay.
That are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds. Their reflexes are faster. Their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys. Strong in almost every way. The jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong. And that's
Titus. I wonder if this is from Space Marine 1.
The White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks. Go fast. We're talking attack bikes. We're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick. You want to hit them hard. You want them to be swarming around like buzzflies. Buzz saws.
Speed demons, maybe.
With the speed of buzz saws.
Speed of buzz saws? That was a new Space Marine 1?
Salamanders love fire. Fire in the forge, fire in battle. Flamers, melta guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of
that's
themselves,
really nice.
which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle. Black, like they have a
literally like zombie
dark ashy exterior
like look
and
at
blazing red
some of these guys look like they're
Apparently
like zombifying
living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much
Salamanders
sense,
are the boys. Yeah, they seem super
sweet.
sweet.
Land anyway.
Like
overall, Salamanders are actually my personal
Warhammer 40k setting
because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice
fire weapons as well.
More heartwarming lore. As opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my god, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine Legions. Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions.
Power of siege?
Raven Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having burn
stealth!
Iron Hands, masters of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings, and wolves, and tons of wolves.
What was that about eBay? But also, going back to this, you know I love, no, not this one. You know I love stealth combo, stealth, and then also bird helmet. As a duck VTuber, I gotta love bird helmets. I sure hope they're not one of the factions that went to the chaos side and are evil. Oh, it's an outdated meme. Oh, was it not good units maybe for the tabletop? They were really strong in game and then got hard nerfed, and a large portion of Iron Hands got sold on eBay.
Bird helmets.
They're
Iron
loyal.
Hands,
Okay,
masters
good.
of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings, and wolves.
I do like the Vikings.
And axes, battle axes, fur everywhere. Space Wolves. Angry,
I like the aesthetic of that.
Blood Angels, the genetic defect to make them want to
Vikings
drink blood
cool.
and go crazy, called the Red Thirst.
Blood.
They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all
that is strange.
super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme.
Wow. Redacted?
Are you a heretic?
Redacted. And the new hand touches the brick.
Deathwatch,
Cyber Soldier. They give it super coins.
That nobody plays because Deathwatch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Deathwatch. They're there though.
They're there.
Templars. For
Sure,
people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock, and I'm sure there's some other chapters. I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff, but those are
really
the main
devoted
ones right here.
to the faith.
Quote from the Emperor himself. They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them.
If you don't pray 3 times a day, you'll be praying at the airlock.
They will be untouched by plague or disease.
Super devoted.
No sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies,
in summary, there's a lot of different Space Marines. I didn't know that the factions were like this different. I like that. I like that.
Humanity, they are my Space Marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything.
Okay, now I gotta ask though, people that play the tabletop here, do you play like Space Marine against Space Marine? Like when you guys are playing? Do you play? It hasn't changed. Okay, so it hasn't changed. They're still strong. But do you guys who are playing, like, do you play Space Marines against Space Marines, or do you only play against like Xenos factions or Chaos? Oh wait, this happened. Okay. You can, yeah. Ooh, it's common. There's matches you can watch online. Ah, okay, so anything goes. 75% of matchups are Space Marines against Space Marines. Ah, yeah, because I figured, like, the second I heard that they're really strong, I'm just going like, okay, if they're really strong, I'm betting a lot of people play them. And if a lot of people play them, then you're probably going to have like Space Marine versus Space Marine battles. There's the reasons for Space Marines to fight each other, even in lore. But I figure you must fight for more than those reasons. Yeah. Mechanically, yes. Lore-wise, some Marines are more devoted than others. Shenanigans and Shu. Oh, so I guess like the ones that, like, when you're doing the airlock praying, it might be like a little bit mad at other guys if they're not devoted enough. Yeah. Even Space Marines on the same side can sometimes fight each other. It's just politics and traditions. I guess they're not as united as I got the impression of in the beginning. A little bit more frictions among the humans. There's a good amount of army diversity in your experience. Oh, nice. Yeah. Imperials calling out other Imperials heretics and fighting them is a daily occurrence. Yeah, I guess this goes in the united quotation mark thingy. Space Marines actually had a civil war. It was called the Bada War. There are some Space Marines which are like, if you witness them in battle, you have signed your own execution. Ooh, interesting. They have almost as many miniatures as all the other factions combined. Whoa, insane. But with all the different Space Marine factions, I guess that makes sense.
Thing you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife.
Gold-plated Swiss Army knife.
Extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer,
Ultramarines
Space
are the common starter army for many.
Start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any wonder people are afraid?
Wait, why is there a 2011? Why is there a car in here? What did the Honda Civic do? Wait, I'm going to zoom on back to this voice clip, but think of the Imperium as the Holy Roman Empire or feudal Scandinavia rather than a centralized nation state. Ah, okay. I'm going to skip back to where he started this Honda Civic thingy.
Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology?
Technology! The Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh.
The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars.
On Mars,
these
specifically?
people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind.
Oh, they
and you
don't?
might think,
Interesting.
whoa, Bricky, that sounds like some heresy.
Yeah, wouldn't
a little bit. They believe
the Black
in the
Angels
Emperor.
come for them?
They believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines.
Okay, so they have a separate machine god.
Well, wait a minute. They believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy.
Super heresy.
Yes-ish, but they also make all your guns.
Oh.
And they make all your tanks.
Yeah.
And they make everything that you have.
Yeah.
So you can't really tell them to fuck off. Because you're not going to win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with.
Yeah.
See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your
Honda Civic,
standard bolt gun, your
it's
Doom
all
Strider
machine, the
Walker,
Omnissiah.
your giant
It's a
mechs,
don't question it
your
relationship,
ships.
yeah, apparently.
The Omnissiah is present through all.
Yeah,
And
don't buy the
only
hand that
reason
feeds you
your
kind of
stuff
thing.
works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works.
Yes,
If you want your gun to work, your tank to run,
Have I ever prayed
you
for
must
OBS to
pray
work?
to
It worked Because the Omnissiah heard me.
You need to start chanting in high Gothic.
Oh.
You need to burn incense.
Chant.
You need to sit on your knees and pray to that card. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go ahomina, homina, 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 homina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that.
I guess this is what I'm doing the next time anything I have that is electronic breaks.
Because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works. So they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus
Power of the Mind.
Archmagos, Magos, whatever. Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Yeah. This is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here.
Weirdos.
The Omnissiah Creed. The Credo. Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh,
that is very true.
only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death.
I mean, that is also
true.
true.
Weakness, flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your
that sounds a little bit
replace
dark,
them with mechanical
though.
parts, because that
With
is what
painkillers,
he
right?
wants, and that is how you will become enlightened.
Right.
Hard technophiles
Right.
mixed with religious extremism. Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds.
What do you mean no? Oh, baby, no. No, with painkillers, right? Painkillers are heresy? No! Okay, it just became a whole lot darker. Pain shows your devotion? No. Oh my god. What are these painkillers I speak of? You feel like in the year 40k they would have like, you know, as they have super hell and like super war and like all these super things, surely they would have super painkillers. Surely. There's no pain if you believe strong enough. No! I believe strongly in the power of painkillers, okay? It's what saves me when I get a headache or something. Just to play the hurts with a prosthetic? What if the prosthetic hurts though? Like, you know, I feel like you would have to connect it to nerves and things. No super painkillers, only super pain! It's starting to sound darker and darker by the second. Super painkillers are called guns? Ah, I see, they're guns. Ah. Painkillers aren't robotic though, why would they use it? What if they had robotic painkillers? Yeah. Well, pain is just organic weakness leaving the body. You don't think they want to feel things? I mean, until you have enough machine parts, you'll feel something, surely. Technology is super stumped. You can't improve on technology because of who are you to improve on the Emperor's design, and you can't invent new stuff because currently, that's currently. Because who do you think you are? The only faction that's currently innovating are the Tau. Oh, okay, so everyone is just kind of stagnating at their current technological level. It's alright, this is the less horrible version of this explanation. It gets worse? Wow. Not current, but like 20,000 years. Did they start stagnating 20,000 years ago? That's a lot of time to stagnate. Whoa. Okay, we'll see. Only the Tau get to progress, sort of. Okay. I'm going to start this again because it's starting to sound really bleak. The Emperor's been on the throne for 10,000 years. Things haven't improved since. Oh. 40k is basically it gets worse, the franchise. Yeah. Okay, honestly, Kamal, prior to watching this, for me, the worst franchise that I've known of, it still might be bleaker somehow, but the worst franchise that I know of, survivability-wise, from a human standpoint, is Dead Space. Dead Space has not the Necrons, but the Necromorphs, which, you know, I guess kind of are like Tyranids? Or similar to Tyranids? and the fact that they consume and grow, but there's like not much, like you don't have much you can do against the necromorphs, it seems like, in the Dead Space universe. So that was the one like that, like on the top of the list of like I would never want to isekai into X universe, and then Dead Space is the top. Dead Space is like 2 in 40k. Oh, I see. So it gets way worse. Yeah, I'm starting to think that 40k might get even worse, but okay, we're going to continue. Yeah.
Kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective both in the real game.
These guys remind me of the Yavas from Star Wars. Just like you make the Yavas, like you merge the Yavas with a regular foot soldier, and then you get these guys because of their eyes and their little capes and stuff. And all the machine stuff. Yeah. You too, yeah. They're a little bit like the Javas, right? The little desert planet guys. Yeah. The thing is, 40k is mostly races have a chance of fighting the worst stuff. In Dead Space, there's not really much humans can do. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with Dead Space, is the humans aren't strong in that one. Not the Javas. Oh, is it Javas? Javas? Aren't they the little guys that love hoarding tech? Or am I thinking of something else? The little desert guys. There are on Tatooine? God, it's been a while since I watched Star Wars. I should probably rewatch Star Wars. Yeah, Javas? Yeah. Oh, it is correct. Okay, Javas. Yes, the little Javas.
And in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans.
Interesting.
But if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno
I like their
thing,
little like
I think they'll pick
steampunkiness
up.
of their design.
Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off. And they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go to battle.
Circle? Oh my god.
The Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith,
okay, so super like faith-based
let's talk about the
mechanics.
Sisters of Battle.
Ooh,
has fallen for an ego
girls.
in Lego City.
Sorority.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium.
Okay, the faith
ecclesiarchy
section.
is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army of the church, which is scary. And it is.
Oh, that
the
looks scary.
sisters are an extremely zealotous force.
Okay, very heavy with the
extreme.
faith.
They believe in 3 main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely potent at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill.
I like your design a lot.
Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those 3 main weapons: the bolter, the
original
flamer,
group name was
and the
Brides
melta,
of the Emperor.
And they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest things we have to nuns in space.
I was about to say, they're kind of like fighting nuns.
nuns. They carry holy fire on their backs. They have holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe
is that
organ.
Yeah, it's a pipe organ. Whoa. Okay, the aesthetic of this is super cool, but they sound kind of scary. They sound like if you are a heretic, you are going to like burn. Yeah, it's a pipe organ that fires missiles. Whoa. I mean, they gotta roll up to the battlefield with some good music. You're going to burn, yeah.
Missile launcher. They have small babies that they have.
I don't know about those though.
Their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit.
I don't know about that. That is a bit
from low orbit as mini drop pods onto
church
battles.
drop pods?
They drop churches into battles
Whoa.
and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy
I like
water
that they have music,
across
though.
the battlefield. These are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons
Ooh, that's pretty
on
cool.
the tabletop. Because their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the immaterial,
emotions
the place
goes
of
through
all
the
things. So
warp?
if you are that
Interesting.
mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons. And all these girls, not
Okay, so they're
crack.
basically like super mental
Not a
defense.
crack in that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are, and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian, yeah, which I can't unsee anymore. I gotta say,
Now he makes everyone see
love
it.
their design. I think they're extremely cool. They're another army that I'm currently collecting. They just released a whole new line of figures very recently, and they look wonderful. Everything.
The designs
from
are pretty cool.
Celestine, the
I like their
living,
wings.
literally undying saint from the triumph of Saint Catherine.
Kibble up and
which
Caddy's
is
literally
literally
cheat dies. You can swap a bad result to the pre-roll die.
Those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle
very
are
over the
so
top.
cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and
I like the
Melta
bolters.
Blast, the mutant,
bolters more than
the
flames.
heretic, and the traitor alike are
But I like
cleansed
that they
of their
don't use
sin
laser
of
rifles.
existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time. And speaking of burning demons,
Burn.
I can see.
The Grey Knights.
the Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in 7th edition. The Grey Knights are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them
all
have
of
that
them.
crazy space
We don't
magic
talk about
magician
them?
shit.
I see.
For every 100,000 guardsmen,
Hammer
there's
Bros?
one Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's one Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's one
Okay, so
Grey
not
Knight.
many
Grey
of them.
Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just strength. These are Space Marines
Whoa,
that
they're
are
so
all
tall.
high
At least that one
level
guy.
psychers. All of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the #1 threat to the Imperium.
How
and
are you
he
supposed to pick
probably
one
is
faction
right.
like this? Yeah,
However,
all of
this
a lot of them
group
are really
is
cool. Not all of
entirely
them, but a
based
lot of
on
them.
doing that through a myriad of tactics. Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly
Grey
can
Knights are in
be.
bad spot in
Since the
tabletop right
demons
now
of
with
the
very
warp
outdated
are
models.
The warp, and your mind projects to the warp.
So haven't been updated.
People can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane.
Oh, okay,
One
so
of their
like the
characters, one of my
sisters, they have a
favorite
lot of
characters, is named
mental
Castellan Crow.
fortitude.
He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly beckoning them. Use my power. Use my strength.
Temptation
suck
sword.
my penis. Whatever the possibility. And so he has to
I'm
keep
not
it
replaying that, but what?
on him
What?
all the time as this thing whispers to him consistently, and he has to stave it off forever.
What? Yeah,
being
yeah,
alone
what?
in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted
that
a
was
little
some
too
stuff.
hard.
No,
He
I'm not
is
playing that again.
Pure of heart and mind.
Yeah,
and
because
all
I
the
guess they're
characters in the Grey
uncorruptible.
Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that
But I'm
Grey
making
Knights
you
have a
hear.
scorched
I
earth
didn't
policy.
know I would hear this
There are more
today.
ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy.
Okay.
So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons, and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons,
Oh,
I'm a
dude.
risk.
That is canon lore, is
And
it?
so guess
Crazy.
who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop, they're very strike fast, strike hard kind of people. They teleport all around the place.
Oh, they
They're
teleport. That's
fast
pretty
strike
cool.
Groups, small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there. You're very tough, very tanky. You hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly. But you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn hard. They're fun, though,
okay,
if
so
you
they're
like that kind of
smaller
fast-striking
army.
kind of army. Oh, and also
they're strong.
Caldor
Strong
Drago
but
is a
small.
thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the male about his fist.
They do seem like kind of like from what a lot of the pictures showing, a lot of them had hammers. So their teleporting got nerfed in the 10th edition. Oh, I see. Grey Knights love hammers. Yeah, I gotta say, in general, I tend to be more of like a lover of the speedy weapons or like medium speed weapons. Like in when I play Space Marine, I like the little like knives or swords and stuff. But yeah, Grey Knights can't use hammers in a game though. Can you not use hammers in the tabletop? They literally took their hammers? No! How could they have hammer bros and then not have hammers? Yeah. You like the pokes? Yeah, I like the pokes. I like the speedier factions. So I like the for like the more Space Marine looky factions. I like the look of the bird guys more, the bird stealth bros, or the Viking bros. Tabletop hammers got taken. They have maces now. That feels wrong. In the current edition, every melee weapon the Grey Knights infantry uses the same staff block. Ooh, interesting. Grey Knights are super cool, but the lore about them has been all over the place recently. Interesting. Generally, in the current edition of the game, melee is bad. Oh. Okay. I'm learning a lot about tabletop from you guys.
I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time. Grey Knights are pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
they
it
are
seemed like
as
it.
holy as you can get for a Space Marine.
I like
you
that their
Space Marines,
designs.
You know that they're holy.
I like that the designs are pretty, like, it seems like classical armor. Like, if you think, like, medieval armor, stuff like that, like, their helmets especially, obviously seems like a nod towards more classical knight armors. And color-wise as well, like, they have the very, like, pared down gray aesthetic. Like, they don't go, like, all crazy on the colors, even, like, their insignias and stuff. Very pared down. Yeah. Look very bulky in a cool way, like a cool, like bulky armor.
They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, you know that they're holy enough.
Those are older designed helmets and lore.
If you want to be holier and big, let's talk Imperial Knights.
Imperial Knights.
Coming.
Do you like gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to
are you
kill
an
heretics?
AT-AT at that
Do you want to
point?
kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic old-school knight noble house style of walkers with giant chainsaw arms? Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights, it's not a whole lot to talk about them because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old-school like house feel to them. Like literally, like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops. Like, these things
Just
do not
stomp to
mess
destroy
around.
stuff.
And they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy
He's
walkers.
just like, just big
and they look
guys,
different
big
depending on your
stomp.
house or Chaos God you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path.
Yeah, big
With a
stomp.
scary, big unit of Warhammer. And if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project, too. Getting more back down to earth. Let's talk something about a little bit of...
That's my favorite type of like Warhammer like figures I've seen are the big guys because they look really cool when you paint them. Not that I've painted any myself, but like the figures from Warhammer that I've seen painted, the big ones are the really cool ones. There's also the Titans if you want to go even bigger. Ooh.
A little bit different, a little more gold.
Gold.
If guardsmen are
Adeptus
regular
Custodes.
soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus
Super soldiers
Custodes are
cubed.
the third major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know, I
gold
got
aesthetic
carried
is
away,
pretty cool.
okay, but that's all. I only have 3, okay?
They're just OP and lore.
They are our final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are super special.
Super, okay.
If a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra,
big guys.
which is also Earth. Earth is Terra. Themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room. Hence, custodies. These
guess they're
boys
like a
protect the
small
Emperor's
guard
throne room at all
force.
times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. I think from a tube.
Literally every
These
single custodian is a main
behemoths
character.
of men
Yeah.
Are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall, and functionally immortal.
Yeah,
They
personal security
stand
force, like
still,
bodyguards.
spear in hand for hundreds of years.
There's
without
only
the need to
10,000 of them?
sleep
10,000
and
is a
barely
lot,
even
but I guess
need
in
to
the
eat, watching over the
Warhammer,
throne room and every other area
like,
of Holy Terra
aspect of things,
for
it's not that many.
their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you like your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers.
Mega
One
soldiers,
of these
interesting.
men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my
Solar
personal favorites,
guys.
the Aquilin Shield. The Aquilin
Ooh, I like
Shield
the
go
purple.
out to seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5 foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered but never outmatched. These people are pretty horrifying. Both
Also,
on
what
the
is that in the background? Is that like a walking building or something? Because that looks like a phase. They also ensure certain events come to pass. Sometimes they show up randomly to ensure someone survives something, and then they shut off once their fate has been bad. Interesting. That's a Titan. Oh. Okay, I was like, okay, I kept on getting distracted by this in the background. I was like, is that building walking? I think it's walking, or like it looks like it's like carrying a shirt on his back. It's like a turtle, like a turtleneck. Yeah. A Titan is bigger than a knight. I mean, obviously, if it's carrying a building, it has to be bigger than a knight. You can see a Titan in the distance in one of the Space Marine 2 maps. Ooh. Yeah. So walking buildings, walking churches, but giant buildings. Yeah.
Top as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them. But that's kind of the point. There's only so many.
I mean, if you have an elite force,
strong weapons, this powerful,
they're not going to be
training
many.
This good, and the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready. Always attuned to
Spears are their main weapon? Oh, I love spears.
Months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this, patience is a weapon. The custodians are...
I see kind of like a parallel, at least from like that expert at the lore. A parallel to, oh god, you know those ceremonial guards that a lot of countries have outside like important buildings and stuff, like the ones that usually have like more elaborate uniforms, that the ones that when people take pictures of them, they're not supposed to react, they're just like standing unmoving guards and stuff. Kind of gives me like a little bit of parallel to those. Yeah. Obviously more hardcore. The ones that Yuki like honor guards. Yeah, that's inspiration. Yeah. It's like them, but they can actually fight. Yeah. Those guys. Yeah. But with golden armor and spears, and I guess this guy has an axe. I like spears more than axes, but axes are also cool. The Swiss Guard is actually highly trained. Ah. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like the initial inspiration, because it's giving me like that kind of vibe functionality-wise a little bit. And then also the fighting bit, because obviously, apparently everyone fights in Warhammer 40k.
Are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of
Sisters
here.
of Silence.
Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and they're really fun.
The
but they
haircuts
don't
are
get
funny.
enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, are also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them.
So they're kind
when
of like
a Sister of Silence
disconnected.
walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange.
They have
so
no soul?
most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit
He has
a
anti-magic.
horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons
custodians are
and
not
other kinds of
psychers.
psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it. All of them taking a vow of silence, as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature.
Okay, so they also don't
but
speak,
if there's a demon
mute.
issue, if there's any kind of
anti-soul?
warp-based problem,
Okay, anti-soul,
the sisters are
anti-magic.
extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate.
Interesting.
I hope we'll get some like news soon, because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking
Technically,
about
psychic power
blanks,
equals soul power.
let's talk
Sisters are
assassins.
in a real sense Solons. Oh, they have assassins.
It's been a long
Assassinorum.
video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum.
Ooh, stealth.
Oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but
I like how he says. I like how he says that so excitedly, as if nothing else in this video has been deadly so far. The way he's like saying it, and also his like face that I coincidentally stopped at right now, makes it go like, oh yeah, these guys are deadly and nothing else before this point was deadly, as if we didn't have like these Grey Knights, super Grey Knights, super Sisters of Battle with like all the fire, the literal custodians. Like it's like now the real deadly stuff it comes. Yeah, precision matters are deadly for humans. I guess like all kinds of deadly then. They can take on space marines. Ooh. I guess like just like degrees of evils,
these
there's degrees
people
of deadliness.
mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the what was it called? Schola Progenium. It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something. You get sent to this, and you get trained to be whatever. Tempestus Drop Troop, an Inquisitor, maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene, and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to warp.
Wait, you sometimes just disappear. Sometimes just go poof. Let's go poof, or other people make you go poof. I don't think this is a good orphanage, Kamos. To be fair, in a lot of fictional media, orphanages just usually doesn't end well for like any characters that's involved in anything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. You just go poof. I see. Yeah.
One of 4 temples, because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things.
Temples.
These temples are the Vindicare,
Wait, don't talk about it.
Calidus, and
He's
Eversword
goofing around
temples.
again.
Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks.
I love snipers.
The Vindicare temple is the main sniper-based
temple.
temple.
I like that.
Gigantic sniper rifles for all
Sniper
these
rifle,
assassins.
yes.
Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there
best
eye
faction.
and scope for weeks,
Yes.
waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away after extremely long time periods.
Can they make a
The
Warhammer
Vindicare
game where you just
Temple
play
is
as this
about
is the main
precise,
character?
Perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks.
I like
when
this.
they're ready, take that shot. Time is done.
The super strong chaos
Axe 'em
get
up.
demon
The
hunters.
Calidus Temple, however,
Sniper Elite
is a lot
40k,
more
yeah.
about shape-shifting and deviant-art. It's mostly
Deviant
a
art.
female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to
Not as
kind
cool
of
as the sniping.
transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that
They're
are problems.
basically that one blue lady from X-Men Mystique. They even have isn't Mystique's hair red? They even have Mystique's hair color. They're kind of like Mystique 40k. Yeah. Would you agree? If they do the shape shifting, the Mystique, yeah. Like when the more he described it, the more I was like, oh, that's kind of Mystique stuff, but 40k vibes. The one blue lady. If I say the one blue lady from X-Men, we all think of the same lady, okay? If I was talking about Widowmaker, wait, she's not. Wait, it's not. That's Overwatch, not X-Men. That is very different. That would have been more fitting for the sniper faction.
Assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way
Ultimate
up
Universe
just to
Nightcrawler.
get enough
Oh,
time
true.
to pull a
Nightcrawler and
bullet
Nightcrawler
into
and
the
Beast
main
are also blue,
target's
but they're not
head
ladies.
and then escape unharmed, or become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception, mind tricks,
Yeah, they're just stealth
and everything in
and
between, and
infiltration ladies.
Lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple.
Ooh.
Just kind of disturbing one.
Ugh,
The Eversor
skull?
Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all
Oh.
dead.
Oh.
And Eversor
Everything.
is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture
Ooh.
to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange
Oh.
style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and
Oh.
psycho.
Oh, that doesn't
conditioning,
sound very
I guess is
good.
the term. And then they pump
Like,
you
even
full
on-
of
even on
tons
40K
of psychedelic
standards.
drugs, and they cryo freeze you.
Oh.
And then they drop you in an area
Oh,
where they
it's
just
like a
want to
you're a
make sure
berserker
everything
killing
is
machine.
dead. And then you defrost.
Yeah, they just
full of all
defrost to
this
kill.
Insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back alive, you're like,
I'm not
"All
ready
right,
for Xenos
lost
then. We'll
cause.
see. We'll see.
Send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Calyxus Temple. The
Calyxus
Calyxus
Temple?
assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Calyxus Temple with this as well.
Oh.
And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular.
Okay, so they're also
They are seen with
anti-soul,
extreme
anti-psyker.
fear and distrust among many, many people. They are described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine
Pure
that
evil,
uncomfortable
wow.
feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100. If normally
okay.
regular people feel
So the
uncomfortable,
suppression, like,
now they are
fear,
basically akin
aura,
to
whatever.
being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker,
Kind of like an EMP, Psyker
oh, no.
EMP.
The sheer presence of a
Walking
Calyxus
Psyker
assassin
EMP.
is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Calyxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is
Wow.
a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto
Wow.
of that temple is, "That which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear." Now, for the
Wow.
tabletop, assassins aren't that special. You can call them in
After
no matter
all that.
what Imperium faction you are, and they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Catalyst. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of Psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like,
sometimes the lore sadly doesn't match the tabletop mechanics, yeah.
And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the
I gotta say, my favorite, though, by far, is the snipers. I love sniper rifles. It's so good. This is my favorite by far. Also seems to be the least disturbed. The first ones were way normal compared to the 2 second ones. Have you gotten to the Necrons next? No, that's part 2. Oh,
now,
there we go.
Let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2. The Inquisition.
Inquisition,
We have a lot to talk about with them.
On the subject of heresy.
Heresy.
Oh boy. Where do I even begin with the Inquisition?
Snipers are trained and not tortured?
Take
Yeah.
every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the
Image not
CIA,
found, image
FBI,
not found,
any of
image not
these
found.
kinds of people. And then mark it up by about 10 and give them the most power in the entire Imperium. No,
Even
you know
more-
what? How about this? This right here. It's not
Does he mean more than the Custodians, then?
just a quote. This is the Imperial motto. The motto of the Inquisition.
Okay, motto.
I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat.
Innocence proves
Innocence
nothing? Wow.
proves nothing.
Oh, political power.
The most powerful organization
Okay,
in the
okay.
Imperium. The secret police. Their #1 motto is innocence.
It's not military power, not necessarily strength, but
nothing.
authority.
The Inquisition goes around like
I like the
secret
design
police, or
here
like detectives,
for the girls.
to find issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious; they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien
the heretic
threats, and
hunters
Malleus
designs
is
are super
demons.
cool, like a
They
witch
all
hunter.
have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor, and that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them,
Technically,
as an
they're above the
Inquisitor,
law.
has their own
The
free
Space Marines
reign
and
to do
Custodians
as
are not
they
really
wish.
bound by the
They
law
may
in
have
the
a
same way
ship
that
and a
normal
crew,
human is.
and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot.
Oh, a lot of
They are
interrogation.
above the law in every department over Space Marines.
Pretty much everyone
Now,
will
the Space
follow their
Marines
orders.
might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them.
They're getting a Rogue Traeger
Inquisitors.
like game this
They
year.
are looking
It will have
to
heavy focus on
investigate
investigations
and
and
figure
detective like
out
gameplay.
coups and cults and demonic
that's
incursions
cool.
and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And memes aside,
I do
they're
like
pretty
the
good at
detective
it.
work.
The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but most of them are pretty good at their job.
They are
They spend a lot of
hairstyle.
time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives.
A smart
with just
Inquisitor doesn't
enormous
push it with the
power
Marines, mind
and
you.
sometimes a bit
Yeah, I
of a
would
power
assume
complex.
so.
And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus.
I've done it. You're booting up the
Exterminatus is
catechist.
deeming a planet
Nice.
unfit to be saved.
Oh,
I deem
exterminate
that
the
this
planet.
is demon infested, and taking it back will cost too
Ooh.
many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed
There's
Exterminatus
a good show about an
on this
Inquisitor on
planet.
Warhammer
I will
Plus.
now
Ooh.
sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet, as it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than
Ooh,
allow
okay.
the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment. This can mean cracking the planet.
They can also decide if a whole Space Marine chapter is to be are to be traitors or not, even if there aren't. It's rare, but it can happen. Oh.
Yes, the innocence proves nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now it is memed a lot.
I mean,
but most Inquisitors
everyone is
are
evil is what
very
I've
rare
gathered
to do
anyway.
Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who
Inquisitors
are
are
a
not the
little
only
bit
people who can
rough on this one.
invoke Exterminatus. Oh, okay.
but most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it.
It takes years,
Secret
decades to solve cases.
Inquisition
Sometimes it's
are
all about protecting the
unfortunately
Imperium,
not
taking very long
represented on
term.
tabletop very much.
I do like that.
You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there. They really need a lot more effort put into them, and they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well.
Oh, I would
it's a little bit
imagine.
hard to
A little
talk
bit
about
mystery
big
and stuff.
Story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grim darkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right?
Oh yeah, humans.
Come back for part 2 when we talk about Chaos and Xenos.
Part 2 is like on the side here.
We got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos
Yeah, I want to learn
Marine
about all the
legions
side factions
and
as
the
well.
Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you.
That was long. This one is equally long. Humans had a lot more than you thought. I didn't know like all these like the Assassins faction. No idea about that. Obviously, I'd heard about the Space Marines and the Ultramarines because that's what you play in. That's what you play in Space Marine 2, and also like the Death Watch was mentioned there. You guys have told me about the Sisters of Battle before. But this is putting a lot of things into context and into perspective. Like, even I know there's a more updated one, there might be outdated information in this one. This is putting a lot of stuff in perspective. So, that was it for this video. This has been Kanna, your local happy peppy duck detective. Always ready to solve a case, open some cards, play games, or make you relax with some ASMR. If you like this video and you want to see more, you can subscribe. Only if you really want to, of course. Or you can check out my other channel if you want to catch me live. See you next time.